welcome. You're watching the FNO show. Over the next half an hour, we'll tell you what's happening in the markets and, of course, where is the action and what future and option trades you should be considering at this stage. A quick check on the markets. It's not a bad day of trade given that we did bounce back quite well over the last 2 days. This morning, while the cues coming in from world markets are muted and there are a lack of local triggers, the Nifty is still holding steady, sub 25 high, 25,100, but still maintaining about the crucial. Today there was a little bit of a struggle at 25,130. We finally ended lower, but this morning at least the FNO cues aren't looking too bad in that sense.
Yeah, good morning, Samina. So yes, Samina, in fact, if you see from the global front also, because the recent decline was largely, dictated due to global trends, and we are seeing a bit of a consolidation in the US market. So with tone slightly in the positive side here. I feel that 24,900 Samina is the make or break level. That's the 20 EMA. Yesterday also we made a low closer to that mark and managed to gain nearly 0.5%. And today also we are seeing that we are somehow trying to defend the short-term average. Good part is, Savina, that banking, which was earlier acting as a laggard, has started seeing some participation, especially ICICI, Axis, which we shared earlier also. The alignment among the top three names is something which is required to trigger some meaningful move in banking and accordingly in the Nifty. But having said that, I feel that since the other index majors are weighing on the sentiments, like today Tata Motors is down nearly 6%, then we have Reliance which is not participating. I doubt that we're going to see any meaningful up move in the index until we close above 25 or 150 on the closing basis. So among the indices, I feel banking is something that one can look at instead of Nifty.
Yeah, and what would be the trade on Bank Nifty? Because today is the weekly bank expiry, so I'm assuming it's going to be rather active at some stage in the next few hours.
Yeah, so I feel that instead of pointing towards the today's expiry, next week 15,300 call, which is currently quoting at 400, is something that one can place a bid on by buying it at current levels, with 320 being the stop and 550 position target.
Right. Jatin, what about you? Are you constructive on Bank Nifty, considering it's rather perplexing me? I know consumption has been doing well, but this one's been so long consolidating. There were aggressive buy calls on ITC last week, but there was not too much of a movement. Last 2 days, I feel like it's coming back and finding color. Do you feel at these levels a long trade on ITC could be warranted for the near term?
So certainly, Zamina, because talking about the FMCG basket as a whole is what we are seeing decent traction. In fact, during the down days for the index, we were seeing that the FMCG basket was holding strong. So definitely, ITC can be considered as a fresh bet. Though the kind of momentum that people were seeing earlier, that is missing, and that might remain the scenario because we have hardly seen any correction also in this stock. There's going to be a gradual up move from here on. So from the very short term point of view, 512, that should be your stop, for the current trade, which is currently quoting at 519, and 535, 540 should be your positional target.
Right. How do you feel about Wipro? I noticed you didn't mention it, but again, this one's been an underdog for many days, and there's been some recovery recently. Today is muted. Is that an opportunity to go long?
So, Samina, in fact, when it comes to the IT major, I feel that one should stick the guns with the top three names, CL, Infosys, and TCS. This underperformance which we are seeing in Wipro has been, continuing for last several years. So, I doubt that we're going to see any major outperformance. Yes, every recovery every now and then is something which is possible, but any meaningful move, especially when the other IT majors, they are already at the record highs, and we still have a long way to go when it comes to Wipro. So I think this underperformance might continue to hurt this stock. So it's, preferably one should look at Infosys or TCS or HCL Tech at current levels.
Focus on the large caps for Ajit. Ajit, what about other trading strategies? What is it that you like? What are you recommending? Long side, short side, maybe some options?
Yeah, certainly. So considering that the tone is still mixed, I'm not vouching that we are, again have resumed the uptrend. We need to sustain our 24,900. So until we see some decisiveness in the index, I feel that one should maintain position on both sides. First name that we like in the consumption basket is Britannia, wherein the stock has just moved out from the consolidation range break. Already at the record high, seeing decent volumes. The price action combined with the oscillators, they all are pointing towards the positive tone to continue. And 61.80 is what we are eyeing in the near future. So with stop at 59.40, one can go long in Britannia at current levels. At the same time, within the mid-cap IT space, Birlasoft is witnessing profit taking after the failed attempt to cross crucial hurdle. And we feel that this consolidation with a negative bias may continue, and the stock may drift towards 605, 610 in the near future. So one can go short in Birlasoft with 650 being the stock.
Birlasoft is a stock that Ajit is recommending from the broader market universe of IT stocks. I'm not sure what's happening on some of these other names. If you look at our big losers, Tata Motors, what is the trade there? A 5% cut, I mean, is unheard of on Tata Motors, at least in the recent few weeks. And I'll throw in ONGC as well, because a very clear reaction to crude prices there.
So yes, in fact, Tata Motors has been underperforming for quite some time. It's almost like 2-3 weeks we have been seeing the stock struggling to hold the gains and gradually drifting lower. Today, after this gap down, we have slipped below the 100 EMA, which is not a good sign. So in case if we fail to close below this 1015 levels, then definitely this negative trend may extend and the stock might retrace to 940, 950 levels in the coming days. So for a timing now, if you are planning to trade, any rebound can be considered as a shorting opportunity closer to around the 1000 area, with 1020 being the stop and 950, 960 being the target. ONGC and the other stocks in the refining segment is also facing pressure. And we feel that, in fact, the entire basket, if you see, Samina, the PSU pack is, witnessing sharp correction across the board. Good part is that we are closer to the support when it comes to NGC. Close to around 280-84 zone is something that last time when the stock was consolidating, it took support around that area. So that could be the area where one can place the stop loss if you are holding any long position. For fresh buying also, in case if somebody is attempting a contrarian trade, they can go ahead with that, with 283 being the strict stop, and in case of recovery, 305, 310 is something then they may maintain as a target.
Well, let's go into our queries now. Sachit from Kerala currently has from Hyderabad. He holds Sun Pharma calls at 1880 rupees at a premium of 14. What is the outlook? Ajit, I'll take this with you. Pharma has been on the buy side, and I think I've heard a few long calls coming in on Cipla. What do you recommend Karan to do?
Samina, though he is sitting on the right side, but just because that he is, sitting out of money, so that is not helping his, position. Because the stock has been inching higher, but it's very gradual pace. So it's been like almost 5-6 days that we are seeing negligible change in the stock prices, but yeah, the tone is positive. So I would recommend, if somebody is attempting any long position, especially in the stock options, please stick to ATM or ITM options instead of going OTM at the beginning of the month, because the time value is something that deteriorates very fast in case the stock fails to hold or witness some consolidation. So here also we are seeing that this call has already reached to around 10 levels, and I doubt that we're going to see any meaningful momentum also. So until we see some momentum, this deterioration might continue further. So prudent approach is to take the losses, and for fresh position, I feel Divis is a better candidate to look at, because after yesterday's momentum, we are seeing a marginal dip. So in case if somebody has to initiate any position, they can consider Divis with 5300 or 5290 being the stop and 5600 being the target area. So if you wish to go ahead with any call position, 5400 call is something that you can go ahead with the recommended levels.
Right. There's also another query coming in from Abhishek from Gujarat. He has ONGC calls at a premium of 25. Jatin, this one is a tough one.